Howdy everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to 1941. Today we'll be doing another episode of World in Flames Collector's Edition, Days of Decision 3 Combined Game Playthrough number 2. And this will indeed be the January-February 1941 turn. Before we get started, I'd just like to note there are a number of major powers that can gear up this year. So we'll likely see some of that going on next turn or two. And yeah, so let's get right to it. Let's go take a look at starting money. Okay, starting money is looking something like this. We have Germany at -2, Japan at -2, Italy at -1, the Soviets at 0, the Commonwealth at 0, the United States at -1, China at 1, and Free France at -3. Now, like I said, there's a number of major powers that can gear up, so that being taken into consideration, I come up with the following bids for the major powers. We have the United States bidding 1, Germany bidding 1, the Commonwealth bidding 1, Italy bidding 1, and China bidding 1. Now, the Soviets are indeed eligible to gear up, but I guess the finance minister for Stalin, I guess he messed up a little bit because they're at 0. It would cost them 1 to bid and 10 to gear up, and they don't have enough money. They don't have a high enough credit limit. Their credit limit is only 10. So the Soviets are probably going to have to wait till next turn, and the finance minister, well, he's off to Siberia. Sure, he'll have a great time pounding rocks out in some gulag somewheres. All right, so let's see how this shakes out on the political initiative track. Zoom back out. Okay, there we go. You may have noticed that I have moved the political effectiveness of the Commonwealth up 1. That should have been done when the Italians declared war on them, but I don't think it's really affected anything as of now, but that is their actual level right now. So we have the U.S. bidding 1. They're going to get a +4 from their first place position from last turn. That gives them a 5. That's going to put them in first. The Germans bid 1. They're going to get a +3 from their last turn's position, so that gives them a 4. That's going to give them second. We have the Commonwealth bidding 1. They're getting a +2. That's 3. We also have Italy bidding 1. They're going to get a +2. That's 3. That's a tie. Tie is broken by the political effectiveness track. As you can see, the Commonwealth is here. Italy is down here, I believe. Yep, they're right there. So the tie will be broken by the Commonwealth, and I should put that underneath. And they will move up into third, and the Italians will be fourth. And China also is bidding 1. They get a 0. That's going to put them in fifth. So the last card goes on the U.S., and the last card goes on China. Now for the non-bidding major powers, we have Japan at 3. That's going to put them in 6. We have the Soviets and the Free French at 1. The Soviets are here in 4. The Free French, which I just buried, are here at 3. So the Soviets will break that tie, and the Free French will slide down to 8th position. All right. Let's go and see what the U.S. is up first. Let's go and see what they're going to do. Okay, the U.S. is going to gear up. They are currently eligible to gear up in 1941, so that's exactly what they want to do. The money cost is a steep 12, but that's okay because they're going to run from half right now up to 3/4. So that's going to increase their production to 38, 36, 3/4, 27, 28 now, right in that range. So that's a big jump for America. There are a whole bunch of minor country effects. I'm going to go put them out. The U.S. entry is a pretty hefty 9, so that's going to affect U.S. entry for next turn. Not even going to bother to calculate it this turn because obviously the U.S. is gearing up, so they're not going to do anything with U.S. entry. But so I'll get that paid for, the effects put out, and then we'll come back with the U.S. activating a minor. Okay, the U.S. has decided that they're going to activate Brazil. I think they can get some good mileage out of this, so that's what they're going to do. So we'll go over to the status display. I'll grab the markers. We have a US +3. We have a Japan -4. And we have an Italian -1. So, okay, well, the Italian -1 doesn't do anything, so we'll just get rid of that. Now, Japan has a -4, and Japan's right there, so it's basically going to drive Brazil straight back. So I think the U.S. wants to activate Japan first. And so it's going to be 2 for the hex, and 1 to cross the boundary is 3. So that will put Brazil into the I lost it. The Democrat ideology. So now we're going to activate the American 3. Now normally it's 2 for a hex and 1 to go across the boundary. It's 3. However, it'll be a -1 because we're moving towards a major power that can control the minor. So it will be a cost of 2. And then the U.S. would prefer, they're going to leave it right there. So that's a total cost of 2, and the remaining 1 is just wasted. But that's okay because the United States is pretty happy with where Brazil is right now. We do not roll to end the political phase because this is the first option played, and there's a +1 to the die roll for this, so I can't roll a 1. So we'll just slide right down to Germany. Head back over to see what the Germans might want to do. Alright, and the Germans are going to offer Italy a level 2 treaty. Cost is going to be 4 money. The U.S. entry is going to be a +3, which is actually +2. There are a bunch of minor effects I'm going to put out. And actually, none of them are in existence right now. Hungary, Netherlands, and Poland, yeah, they're all gone. So we don't even have to put minor effects out. However, Germany will get the chance to activate a minor. So I'll come back. I got to look at the board. I'll come back in a second and we'll do that. Okay, we're not going to activate a minor. We have to wait until first Italy accepts the treaty before anything can happen. So what we will do is we will roll to see if Germany ends the political phase. So there's been 1 previous political option played, and there's a +1 to the die, so it's a -1 +1, so it's just a straight up 1. 9 does not do it. I'll get the die out of the way. We'll move down to the Commonwealth, and the Commonwealth is going to gear up. The cost for this will be 10 money. U.S. entry is a +6, which is modified to +5. There are a bunch of minor effects here. I gotta go see if, yeah, there's a few minors that can be actually affected by this. So I'm gonna put the minor effects out. I'll pay the money, record the U.S. entry, and then I will come back with the Commonwealth activating a minor. Okay, we're at the point where the Commonwealth can activate a minor. And I think they're going to activate Norway. There's no Commonwealth markers there, but there's a bunch of negative markers for the fascists. So I will grab the markers. We'll come over here to the status display. Let's see what we got here. We got a -2 German, a -2 Italian, and a -1 US. So the Norway marker is right here, right next to the fascist ideology. So the Democrats really don't want Norway in the hands of the Germans, or I don't think the Italians can actually control them. No, but they don't want them in the hands of the Germans, so we'll get rid of the -1 for the U.S. It's not going to do anything. So first we'll do is the -2 for the Italians. That's going to drive Norway basically this way. Then we'll do the -2 for the Germans, and that's going to drive Norway this way. And the Democrats are super happy with that outcome. So the last thing for the Commonwealth to do, there have been 2 previous political options played. We'll roll a die to see if they end the political phase. And 8 does not end the political phase. So we will move on to the Italians and see what, well, we already know what the Italians are going to do. They're going to play their OF proposal, which is accept an agreement or agree to a proposal or something like that. Anyways, they're going to play that to accept the level 2 treaty from Germany. Now I will go put out the U.S. entry and any of the minor effects for the Germans. And when we come back, we will activate a minor for Germany. Germany now gets to activate a minor, and I think they're going to activate Turkey. So I'll grab the markers. We'll head over to the status display. See how this pans out. We have a +4 for the Soviets, a -1 for Italy, a 1 for the US, a -1 for the Commonwealth, and a 2 for the Germans. So the 1s are not going to do anything. If there was a 1 German, it could do something, but not in this case. So now we got 2 for the Germans and 4 for the Soviets. So Germany thinks she's going to activate the German one first. So it's going to cost 2 for the hex, 1 to cross the boundary. However, it's a -1 when moving towards you and your ideology. So it'll be 2, 3, and then back to 2. So those 2 German are enough to pull the Turkish marker here. Now we have 4 Soviet. And Turkey has no allies with anybody right yet. So the Soviet Union is off this way. So it's going to drag it up into this hex. So 4, it's going to toss 2 for the hex, 1 to cross a boundary. That's 3. And then it would cost 2 for this hex and 1 to cross a boundary. Same applies to this one, which would be 3. There's only 1 point left, so that point is blown off. And the Germans are kind of happy with how that worked out. Turkey is now 2 hexes away from Germany. I'm pretty sure the Germans probably going to do something about that at some point, but never can tell. Priorities. And Germany might have other priorities. Alright, so that's the end of the Italians' political phase. They'll roll a die to see if they end the political phase. That was their turn. And let's see, we've had 1, 2, 3 previous political options played. 6 minus 3 is 3, plus 1 is 4, so we will indeed get a chance to see China play an option. And I'll be back in a second with that. Okay, China is indeed going to gear up. Their production is slowly getting strangled by the Japanese, so they feel that it's time to pull the trigger on a gear up, even though it's going to cost them 7 money. They feel that also the U.S. geared up, and it's possible that they could end up getting even more lend-lease from the United States, so they're going to gear up. So I'm going to go and put the minor effects out, and then I'll come back with China activating a minor, which is, I think we've seen this like once or twice this game so far. Now China must activate a minor, and it is a must activate a minor that she can control. And the only 3 that she's really eligible to activate this turn are Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Portugal. Well, Portugal has a +3 German marker in it, so China doesn't want to do that. Iraq has got some positive French and English, Commonwealth influence in it, so she doesn't want to do that. So that leaves her with the option of activating Saudi Arabia, and that is precisely what she's going to do. She's going to activate Saudi Arabia. That's going to blow off the 1 point that the U.S. has in it, but this is the least harm that the Chinese can do at this point. And that will conclude the political phase. I will come back in a second. We will roll initiative and weather, and then we'll take a look at reinforcements. All right, let's roll initiative. Oops. All right, so we got white are the fascists, blue are the Democrats, and the red are the commies. See what we get. Well, the fascists certainly did not win. Let's see. So we have, I'll show you this real quick. So due to the way the turn ended last time, the fascists, the communist marker moved from the +1 to the +2. Because the communists, it was ended on a Democrat turn, so these two didn't get, the fascists and the communists didn't get an impulse that turn. So they were both supposed to move to the right, but only the fascists are already as far over as they can get. So now the communists joined them in the +2 box. So that being said, this is actually a 5, this is a 3, and this is a 2. So the fascists want to go before the Democrats. Yes. So the communists will go last. Last. The fascists are going to go before the Democrats. Let me think about this. That'll put them in 2, with the communists going first. Yeah, so the communists are going to go first, followed by the fascists, and then the Democrats. And the reason why I did that is that now the Democrats will move, which is China, and then the communists will move, which is the communist Chinese. So they're trying to keep their movements coordinated in China right now. And them Democrats and them guys right there. Not an ideal situation for the communists, but sometimes that's what you got to do in a war game. All right, now we're going to roll weather. We have a +1 to this die. A 2, that's actually not bad weather. That's a 3. So we got rain in the Arctic. Fair weather everywhere else. The impulse marker will move up 2, and there's no, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong chart. Okay, a 3 is not the greatest weather, January, February. We have storm in the Arctic, rain in the North Temperate, fair Mediterranean, fair North Monsoon, rain South Monsoon, and fair in the South Temperate. So I'll record that, and we'll come back, take a look at reinforcements. Okay, let's take a look at what we got coming in. We got a heavy cruiser for the Japanese. We have a fighter for Japan. A decent fighter. What are you? It's a 0 with a range of 13, so it's a pretty good fighter. We got a land-based bomber, and an okay one. We have a battleship for the Japanese. We have a pilot for the Japanese, and we have a territorial, which is going to go in Chile for Japan, as well as a militia, which is going to go on the map for Japan. And then let's see, we got the Chinese. The Chinese are getting a few units. They're getting, I can't actually get that. That's fallen. Let's see, they would have built that last turn. It should have been removed, so I'm going to credit China with $2. That's the Canton militia, and Canton fell last turn, so the Chinese couldn't actually rebuild that. I should have taken those out of the cups. Alright, so we got 2 infantry armies for China. And for the Soviets, let's see, we got an infantry army. Oh, we got another headquarters. We got, let's see if I can pronounce this. Vatutin. Vatutin. Supposed to be 1 pilot. We got 1 pilot, and we got a bomber. And 2 convoy points. Alright, and for the United States, we have a fighter which can be lend-leased to the Commonwealth. We have a pilot, and we have the headquarters Nimitz, as well as a tanker and 3 convoy points. The Commonwealth has, What do you got here? You got a tanker point, you got 2 convoy points, and you got some light cruisers. Oh, and a pilot. A couple light cruisers and a pilot. Didn't dig these guys out. Okay, we got a battleship, I believe. Yes, battleship going in a construction pool for the Germans. That's a carrier going in the construction pool for Japan. And another carrier going in the construction pool for Japan. So there's 2 carriers going in there. The Italians have 2 cruisers going on map. And now for the big haul, the Germans. We have 1 sub going on map. We have a tactical bomber, twin engine bomber going on map. We have another sub going on map. We have a 3rd sub going on map. We have the headquarters Guderian. We have a Panzer Corps. We have an infantry corps. And we have a militia. As well as a pilot. And a heavy cruiser. Yes, that's a, no, it's a light cruiser. And a sub going in the construction pool. Okay, that will do it. I will get these reinforcements on the map, and then we'll come back with the first impulse, which will be the communists. Okay, for the communist impulse, which is the first impulse, the communist Chinese moved a couple of land units. Mountain unit there, tripled on defense. Guess we don't need 2 units stacked there after all. And yeah, they moved a few units around, just getting better situated. The Russians, they moved a few more units up towards Poland. They will probably fill that line before the end of this turn or next turn. And then we moved on to the German, the fascist impulse. The Italians are doing a land, and the Germans did a naval. And they sent their U-boats all out into the Atlantic. I forgot one. He's supposed to be there. So, the next thing that we need to do is roll search dice to see if anybody finds anybody. And I'm going to go grab the rules so I can make sure I do this correctly. Okay, let's see what we get. We'll turn 1 unit face down. We'll turn 1 of the subs. And we'll roll some dice and see what happens. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, the dice just bounced off my camera. But here we got a 6 for the Commonwealth. And where are you? Where are you? There you are. We got a 1 for the... so the search die is increased by 1, I think. This is rain. I gotta figure this out. Okay, no effect. The search roll of 1 is modified to a 2 because of rain, but there's a -2 because of the number of convoy points in the area. So that, that brings it down to a -1, which is no effect. Okay, now we have some land action for the Italians. Let's go on down to Africa. Now, I already did the movement. And what we got here is we got a ground strike. So we'll do that first. There's 1 unit there. We need a 2. And nope, the Italians got a 3. They're very typical. So that unit will fly home and flip over. And now what we have here is we got 5 points here for Gort. Would have been nice to flip him. And we have 9, 11, 13, 17, 11, 13, 17, 21 to 5. Obviously, both sides are going to use HQ effects. So Gort will be flipped over. It's supposed to do that at the end of combat, but just do it so I remember. And that's going to be a 21-5. Sounds like 4-1 to me. This is going to be on the Blitzkrieg table because there's mechanized units there for the Italians. Let's see what we get for a roll. 4-1 on the Blitzkrieg table. Whoa! That's a 9 on 4-1. Yeah, Gort is toast. And it's actually a breakthrough. Go figure. Italians actually, and that does not cadre, I don't believe. Okay. No Italian units are flipped face down. I'll occupy the hex. And blitz. Desert and clear weather, I think, is 1 point per. Yes, 1 point per. So they will get the blitz. Yes, that's what we want to do. All right, this guy's isolated. He's actually out of supply too, so if he moves, he's going to flip over. That's really not too good for the Commonwealth. Okay. We're going to move over to Japan now. That's it for the Italians. Head over this way. Let's see what we got here. We got a ground strike to start off with. It's actually fair weather in the north monsoon. So we have a ground strike right here. Pull those units out. We got a big 2. Italian and Japanese ground strikes, not so effective. Not so effective. All right, let's check it out. So the red die will be the 4-3, and the green die will be the 5-3. And we're looking for 2s. And we got a green die as a 2. That's the 5-3 is flipped over. Just saying that Japanese ground strikes aren't very effective at all. They actually had one that was effective. Actually, yeah, that's okay. That's okay, I think. All right, so we're going to recalculate. I think the Chinese are going to throw in some defensive air support, so we're going to intercept that. So the Japanese will intercept that, and we're going to have an air battle. The fighter is acting as a ground support role, so he will have a -1. So it's going to be +2, -2. I believe in this case, intercepting ground support for the defender. I believe the Japanese will actually roll first on the +2 column. And we'll see what we get. A 9 on +2 is a blank. And now the Chinese will respond on the -2. That's an 18. They did something good. 18 on -2 is DX. Defender destroys front bomber or front fighter, and the pilot is killed as well. So the Chinese, the Flying Tigers came through in spades, blew a Japanese fighter out of the air, and as well as killing the pilot. So now I got to recalculate the odds here because we got 1 point. Actually, it's a half a point, but it still counts as 1. So we got 12, 22, 27, 37 to 10. 3-1, we will add HQ benefits. So it's going to be 3-1 on the assault table with a +2. Okay, Japan, here's your big chance. $3-1. +2. They can get hurt bad with a 1. Oh, no, not with that. 9, which is a 11. Star 2S. All the Japanese units will remain face up. The aircraft, actually it was a, the aircraft will flip over and return to base. These 2 units are eliminated. Japanese can occupy the hex, which I think they will do. And that is another resource that China has lost, but China wasn't actually using that anyways because it's kind of isolated. But that will conclude Japan's. Japan's got some air rebasing to do. That'll be that. And then I'll move the turn marker. I think we got to roll for weather again. So we're at the Democrat impulse. The Commonwealth has decided to do a combined and forfeit her automatic 0-box convoy escorts. Doesn't matter too much. What she's doing is she's trying to move her fleet through the Bay of Biscay out to the Faroes Gap. However, the Germans have actually put some units out here, so we got to do a search roll. Remember, it's still raining in this zone. Let's see. There's a -1 to the search die. So the aircraft actually found because this is their box in reality because they're naval air. And there's a -1 to the search die because of rain. Oh no, there's a +1 to the search die. Never mind. The the Commonwealth will manage to get through. They get 2 naval moves. All these are going to go into the convoy box in the fleet. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to go into the 2 box and try to initiate a combat. Oh, and we get an air. I think we get 1 air mission. So this is going to come out and go to here. That nice Lend-Lease aircraft the Americans gave us. And we will flip a ship and we will try to initiate combat with the home fleet. Got the Kriegsmarine out there. Let's see if we can do some damage to it. There we are right there. Nope, not going to get anything. Pair of 1s don't do it. The only thing that found anything was the convoy box itself. Let's see. Let me check that. So yeah, the 1s, even with the rain and the convoy points, nothing's going to get found. So that's the end of that. Down here with the English Commonwealth doing their combined, they moved a couple units up to seal the breach. This whole area right here is so narrow, it's kind of easy to defend until you get back in through here. Over in China, we didn't really do much with the Chinese. We know the Japanese have 1 unit flipped over here. And we're pretty strong right here in China. We got 8 points in the mountains, which is doubled, which is 16. He only has 1 hex on this, and it's 7. There's 2 hexes on this, but it's 12. Up here, that's 15, that's 8. This is a 1 hex attack. and Mao's in that hex, so that's what, 13 points there and 7 there. So we're kind of happy with the whole situation in China. The communists, okay, that's going to be it for the Democrat impulse. One thing for the U.S. The U.S. sent out a transport with an aircraft on it and landed it in the Commonwealth. So I will switch this out, credit the U.S. with a pilot, take a pilot from the Commonwealth, and give that as a fighter for them. And they will be able to rebase that next turn. So that will be it for the Democrats' impulse. Now we will roll for weather. This should be fun. The November, December, and the January, February turn. They're always fun because you can get some really bad weather. Alright. See what the communists get for weather for their second impulse. Well, a 5 is not too bad. Well, it's bad enough. Okay. Snow in the Arctic. Snow in North Temperate. Rain in the Mediterranean. Fair North Monsoon, rain South Monsoon, and fair South Temperate. The weather roll for the next set of impulses will get a +1, and the impulse marker will still move up 2 impulses per round. Okay. So this is the communists. The Russians are going to keep moving troops up to the front. I'll do that in a minute. Actually, I'm going to do that right now, and I'll come back and with the fascist impulse. Okay, we're back to the fascist impulse, and in the Atlantic, we got another search roll to conduct. See what we get. That's a nothing. Oh yeah, and an 8. Yeah, so that's a big 0. That's a big 0. And I think the Italians are just going to do a combined. Okay. I gotta go take a look and see what Japan might want to do. Gotta see what they have for options. Okay, the Italians actually have a potential attack down here. We have a 26-6 right here, which is 4-1. That'll be on the Blitzkrieg table. Yeah, we will do HQ effects. That'll give the Italians a +1 on the 4-1. Blitzkrieg 4-1. Well, I can't get too badly mauled. Oh my God! Oh, you just can't believe it sometimes. 4-1. The Italians rolled a 10, which becomes an 11. On the 4-1 chart, Blitzkrieg 11 is star 2B. So both British units or Commonwealth units are destroyed, and no Italian units are flipped over. So I think they will move here and call that really super duper good. Commonwealth losses down here getting a little bit extreme. A little bit extreme. Okay, that's, I think that is the end of the fascist impulse. Now we're on the Democrats. They're going to try for a naval battle. Oh, actually, yeah, they're going to try for a naval battle up there in the Faroes Gap. And I think they're going to do a think we're going to do a naval, because, yeah, I think we have to. I think we're going to do a naval. I got to get some reinforcement somewheres here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. All right. 1, 2, 3. It's gonna go here. We got reinforcements coming. We got 1, 2. I'll embark that unit. And let's go see if we get a naval battle. Now remember, we got snow. It's snowing. Ooh, geez, I don't think so. So snow adds 1 to the search roll, so that's a 2 and a 6. A 2 and a 6. And the 2 is also modified by -2, becomes a 0 because of the convoys. Now the 5 is a 6, gets a -2, becomes a 4. So the fascists didn't find it. Wow, nobody is finding anybody there. Nobody is finding anybody. Okay, so that's the Commonwealth's, your naval combat. Now opponent's naval combat. The fascists are going to try again. They'll flip a ship and try to initiate combat. You can do this both in your turn and your opponent's turn. Let's see what we get. Well, we got another 1 for the Democrats. Yeah, nobody gonna find nothing. Yeah, big old 0. That pretty much bunkers that. And I think that's the end of the Democrat. The U.S. doing anything? They got another transport over here. They got anything to transport? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. We need some more Commonwealth transports. Just don't have enough. Alright, and that's the end of the Democrat. We'll roll to see if the impulse ends. This will be a 1. The Chinese don't need to do anything. 5, no, move on. We're back to the communists. Let's roll weather. The weather roll is we can just about pack up everything. That's going to be an 11. We got blizzard in the Arctic, blizzard in the North Temperate, and blizzard in the Mediterranean, of all places. Rain in North Monsoon, storm in South Monsoon, and rain in South Temperate. The weather roll gets a +3 for next turn. And next set of impulses, and the impulse marker moves up 3. So the communists will push a few more units up. The Chinese communists are good. They don't want to move anything because it's going to instantly flip. So the communists will roll to end the impulse. Let's see what they get. Oh, jeez. Okay. As a 5. And that does not end the impulse. Now, we're back to the fascists. I think Japan's going to take the big old, not going to do anything but a combine, but not actually move anything. Because again, anything and everything is just going to flip over as soon as you touch it. The Germans, well, they're going to try to do do, what are they going to do? They're going to do a combined. And they're going to try for 2 naval battles. They got one down here in Cape Verde with a commerce raider, and they're going to try one in the Faroes Gap. So let's do Faroes Gap first. Now, naval air won't be assisting, carrier air won't be assisting because it's a blizzard. I'm probably not going to find anything. Well, that's a 3. And the Germans rolled a 3 as well. 3 and 3. I don't think anybody found anybody, to be honest. Snow, blizzard, search rolls. Oh, +1 to search rolls. CVs and navs do not help. So this becomes a 4, and this becomes a 4. Okay, the rest of it still applies though. We might actually have something here. Let's see. I have to find a page. Where are you? Okay. Search roll. Okay, so this is going to end up being a 2 because of the -2 for the convoy points. And this is going to be a 4 because of the blizzard. And navs don't count and carrier planes don't count. So the Germans got the 2 box involved with the convoy points. So I got to figure out what's going to happen there. Oh, we got to figure out, I don't think this is going to be, I don't think there's much in the way of surprise points. It's a 2 and a 4. So 2 is 5. 3 is 2. So there's 3 surprise points. Not very much at all. Basically 1 shift, so I got to figure out the math on this and see what I come up with. Okay, I just did all the math on this. We have 3 surprise points for the Germans, which can only use 2. So they used 2 of them to shift the Commonwealth column down 1 from the 8 points to the 6 to the 3 to 5. So the Commonwealth will do 1 damage and 2 aborts. The Germans have 70 points against 7 ships. They're going to do 4 sunk and 2 aborts. So we'll do the Commonwealth first. First we have a damage. They get to pick the damage. The carriers are shielded and the subs are not involved. They're going to pick the Gneisenau. They feel that maybe they can get that thing damaged and out of the way for a while. It's a 3. They roll a 5, so instead it's aborted. Alright, I'll put that right here. Okay, now it's the turn of the, we will pick, for abort, we will pick the Kiel. That's a 7. Roll the 3, so the Kiel is aborted. And for the last one, the Commonwealth will pick the, it's not going to do anything. We'll try to get rid of the Bismarck. We'll go for the Gusto. Bismarck. Got to roll 2 or less to get rid of her. And the 6 does not do it, so that's a half abort for her. So at the end of the round, the half abort disappears. Now for the Germans, we have 4 sunk and 2 aborts. So the first sunk will be 3 convoy points. We'll just take the Greek convoy points, since it doesn't matter too much. The Commonwealth can pick the next one. They're going to pick the Aurora. So they get the save on that. That's an 8. They did save it. It is damaged. So that was a good strategy. That's damaged. It's going to go to the repair pool. The Germans will pick their next sunk. This is the 3rd sunk as 3 convoy points. Or we'll take 3 Oilers. Okay. And the last sunk, the Trinidad, is going to get a chance to save its life. A 1 doesn't do it. The Trinidad goes down. Now there's 2 aborts. The Germans will pick the Hawkins as an abort. And that's a 7. A 9, she gets a half abort. And I guess the Commonwealth will pick, I don't want to lose the convoy points, so they'll pick the other one, the Effingham. That's also a 7. That one unfortunately does abort. So them go home. Them 2 go home. And that is it for round 1. The Germans are okay with trying to go for another round. We do this by rolling search dice again. I'll flip another ship. And we'll roll search dice. 9 and a 7. Big. Now we're going to roll search dice for the mouths of the Amazon, where that commerce raider is. See if he finds anybody. He did find somebody. Yes, indeed, because he's considered to be in the 6 box. So that's a 6. That's 9. 4. That's 5 surprise points. He has 2 against 2. Let's see if it does anything with 5 surprise points. 5 surprise points on a 2. 2, so we get 1, 2. He's got 2 ships. Well, we can damage him. 1 is damaged. So 3 convoys down here are damaged. Go to the repair pool. I'll just take them out of here, I guess. Maybe not. Three convoy points damaged. All right. And they can try for another round. And that time it's a big miss. An 8 doesn't do anything, even being in the 6 box. Okay, that's it for the fascists, I believe. I got to do a calculation for the Italians. They might actually have an attack down here. We'll do that real quick. We are on the fascist impulse now. That was actually the fascist impulse up there. The communists had been done. All right, so what we got down here is we got 5 points that probably don't have an attack. I don't think. 9, 10, 11, 15, 20 to 5 is a 4 to 1. 20 to 5, 4 to 1. Rolling the die. We're going to try and roll the die. 4 to 1. There's this is just on the Blitzkrieg table. Let's see what they get. Blitzkrieg 4 to 1. No pluses or anything. Well, that's not a good roll. Eighth. We got a 4, which is 1 loss for the Italians, and the Commonwealth has to retreat. So the Commonwealth's okay with that, because that's going to flip over all the Italians. So they got to lose a unit. It's probably going to be this guy. And all these guys are flipped over. That ends the offensive for right now. And these guys are all flipped over. And the Italian 3-3 dies. But they made pretty good progress in the desert. Actually, what is it doing down there? Oh. Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. Oh, Blizzard, it would have been one column, so instead of 4 to 1 in the desert, Blizzard is considered rain. One shift, so it would have been a 3 to 1 attack. Okay, 3 to 1 attack is the Commonwealth loses a unit. The Italians don't lose anything, but they're all flipped over. I forgot this is considered rain, so it's a 1 column shift. So the Italians don't lose anything, but the Commonwealth has a unit lost, which will be the 5-4, and he will be dead. Overall, a pretty bad turn for the Commonwealth. I can see some Lend-Lease coming this way real soon. I think that wraps it up for the fascists. We got a roll to end the turn. The roll is a 5. It does not end the turn. Now we are on the Democrats' turn, finally. And I think they're going to try to engage the Kriegsmarine. We'll roll search dice. 2. Let's see, 2. Okay, 2. This is Blizzard. Okay, so +1, so that's a 3. However, there's still some convoy points here. There are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to subtract 1. That becomes a 2. So the Commonwealth did indeed find the 2 section of the Kriegsmarine. Surprise points. Let's see what they're going to get. They're going to get... I got to figure this out. Okay, we got a big battle in the Atlantic. So, the Kriegsmarine has 71 points with 28 ships, and the Commonwealth has 79 points with 32 ships, and 8 surprise points, which is a pretty good pounding. So they shifted their attack column 3 columns to the right. They're going to get 5, 1, and 3. And they shifted the Kriegsmarine 1 column to the left, so they're going to get 5 and 1. So it really has a lot to do with how many ships you actually have in the engagement too. And it's pretty even, really. I mean, we're going to have some extra aborts for the Kriegsmarine. I just want to double check that, make sure I'm getting that right. 71 points. Shift over 1 is 5 and 1. 79 points. Shift over 2. 79 points. And shift over. I was looking at the wrong column. So the Commonwealth is going to do 7, 4, and 2, which is a really hammering on the Germans. 7, 4, and 2. So normally I'd go after the big boys first, but the Commonwealth wants to cut down on the number of ships that the Kriegsmarine has. So what they're going to do is they're going to go after a lot of these heavy cruisers. They feel that they can literally sink a whole bunch of them rather than just damaging stuff. So the first one they're going to go after is the Admiral Hipper. That's this guy. The Germans will need to roll a 7 to save him, and they don't, and he is sunk. The next one is the Germans pick. They're going to pick one of the Swedish ships. This guy, the whatever it's, Flagelo, and that's an 8. And he doesn't save. He is sunk. We're going to go after the Bismarck. We decided to change our mind. We're going to try to sink the Bismarck. That's a 2. He's damaged. I'm going to put him here. So that's 3. This is the 4th one. The Germans again will pick one of the Swedish ships. This guy right here. He is a 9. And he saves. He's damaged. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th one. The Commonwealth will pick the Bismarck again. Another half damage will sink it, and it is sunk. So the Bismarck goes down. Sink the Bismarck! So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th one. The Germans will pick the Karlsruhe. No, actually, we'll pick the Emden. Yeah, we'll pick the Emden. That's a 9. The Emden. Yep, and he is sunk. And last, let's see. We can guarantee to sink the Swedish ship, or we can take a chance on another one. We'll go after the Deutschland. It's another good heavy cruiser. And it is sunk. So the Commonwealth is pretty happy with 5 sunk ships. Now they have 4 damages. This is the Germans will pick. They'll pick another Swedish ship. This guy for damage. And he is damaged. And the Commonwealth will pick one. They're going to pick the same Swedish ship. He gets damaged again. Actually, if he saves, it'll be aborted. He did not save. He's sunk. And the Germans pick another ship. They're going to pick... Boy. So much for the Kriegsmarine, eh? They're going to pick the Leipzig. This is for damage. It is damaged. Let's... This will be the 4th one for the Commonwealth, I believe. They'll pick that Swedish ship. Let's get rid of him. And he goes down. There's 2 damages, sinks the ship. Now we got 2 aborts. So we'll try to abort the... We'll abort on the Admiral Hipper. It does not abort. Oh, Admiral Scheer, rather. It does abort, so it's aborted. I'll just flip it over here. And the Commonwealth will pick the Tirpitz. It does not abort. Alright, so the bloody turn for the Germans, to say the least. Now it's their turn. They got 5 and 1. Well, turnabout's fair play, so let's pick out some ships here. 5 sunks. I think we would like to go for the Nelson. So the Commonwealth will roll that. They got to roll better than a 2. They do. It's damaged. Now it's the turn of the Commonwealth. They're going to pick... They're going to pick the, whatever this is, the Berwick. It's a heavy cruiser. This is for sunk. And it is not sunk. It's damaged. Okay, now it's the... We're going to pick the King George V. It is damaged. There's 2 more to pick from. The Commonwealth is up next. They're going to pick the Cumberland. That's this guy. It is sunk. It's sunk. And the final one for sinking, we're going to pick the King George. It's sunk because 2 damages sinks. And now for a damage, the Commonwealth will pick the London. And that is damaged. And that wraps up that round of combat. I think the German fleet is going to abort at this point and head back to base. I will do that. Plus I will put the damaged ships where they belong and the sunk ships where they're probably going to go, which is back in the bags. But never know, one of these major powers might want to rebuild some of them. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, production is definitely starting to ramp up here. The U.S. entry rolls were mixed. There's a couple pluses and 0. The partisan roll was for China, but there's no place to put it that's not in the zone of control. So let's go over production. Germany produced 31, started with 24 and spent 26. Japan produced 19, started with 19 and spent 19. Italy produced 12, started with 10 and spent 11. The Soviets, remembering from last turn, produced 14, started with 14 and spent 13. The Commonwealth produced 19, surprisingly enough, started with 8 and spent 15. The U.S. produced 28, started with 14 and spent 15. China produced 7, started with 2 and spent 2. The Free French produced 1 and started with -2 and didn't spend anything. So that'll do a wrap for this turn. The January-February turn is kind of interesting from a naval perspective, to say the least. And yeah, so I'm not sure when this turn will get uploaded. Hopefully within the next couple of days. And I just want to thank everybody for watching and liking. Share if you want to. Appreciate it all, and see you soon.